Good evening, mga kalaro, and welcome to the Council of Titos, the show on the Laro-Laro lang channel where Sportitos talk about a different kind of game, the reality TV game show and social experiment that has run for over 2 decades, Survivor. I'm Chief Bisdak Joel Parcon, and with me as always is Vice Chief Bisdak Jao Atienza. What's up, Jao? How are you doing?
I'm practicing my monkey run.
Ooh, practicing the monkey run, just like one of our castaways in this week's episode. Anyway, for this week's episode of the Council of Titos, we are giving our thoughts about episode 10 of Survivor Season 42, entitled Battle Royale. Why was it entitled that way? We'll find out. The Council is going to give their highlights and lowlights for the episode, as well as their thoughts and predictions for the upcoming episodes. Let's get right into it. Monkey Run, is that one of your highs, Joe, for this week?
It's one of my, what was that all about? It just felt so like I don't know what is the word in English for simang. It felt so simang.
I don't know, out of place. I don't know.
Yeah, sort of awkward and out of place.
Awkward and out of place. Yeah. I'm guessing that was Jonathan's way of trying to lighten the mood, become a social player as much as he can.
Did it endear him to everybody?
They were laughing, although I think that even the laughs were kind of awkward. they were like pity laughs,
I don't know, man. I just found that was neither a high nor a low. That was
it just happened.
Yeah. I don't know where it fits into the edit. I don't know where it fits into the episode. Was this the editor's way of saying that, like, this is why he wasn't voted out? This is why he was like the decoy boot, because of his like monkey run?
Because of his monkey run? He has a social game, ladies and gents.
I don't know. Well, I guess the reason that it stood out to me was I started playing Temple Run again, and like that first thing has like a bunch of those like black things running behind the dude. So I'm like, okay, monkey run.
So now every time you play Temple Run, you're gonna imagine Jonathan doing all of that, being that guy, like going after you.
Yeah, like, why is it there? Is it foreshadowing anything? Is this how he's going to run to the final 3? Like,
this is the beginning of Jonathan becoming the silverback, right?
But then I don't know. Matching isn't a very good thing in Survivor.
Yeah, the matching tribe,
or as the Americans would put it, Matsing.
Matsing, and they called I think they got pagong right, but it's like there's like a twang in the ong, pagong.
Yeah, pagong. That was it, but that was not the Filipino pagong, but like the Malaysian pagong.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're still wondering when they're ever gonna, if they're ever gonna come back to the Philippines. Anyway, what are your other highs?
What are my other highs? Marianne.
What are your actual highs? Or sorry,
yeah. Marianne with an actual idol. Like it felt sort of like cosmic justice in a way, because like in the previous tribal, she was in a way forced by circumstance to play her idol.
Yes.
And it was sort of brought back to her. I don't like how she brought morality into it, but the fact that she has an idol, and it's just like a straight up idol.
Yeah.
Like nothing disadvantageous about it. No twist to it. Like, it just feels like
it's just a good old hidden immunity idol.
Yeah, it's like she really didn't have to play her idol in the Tory vote off.
Yeah.
It was just sort of something that was forced by circumstance. She would have been fine not playing it, but she did. And
it was a statement for her.
Yeah. And so to sort of see that good karma, whatever divine justice there might be out in the out in like
the
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 universe.
survivor gods saw it fit to reward Marianne with an actual hidden immunity idol that no one else knows about. So this
Yeah,
is really just hers, right?
yeah.
And yeah,
Not like a steal a vote, not like uh,
yeah.
this is the one that like they all missed in 41, right? Like the one that I don't know when like Danny was out looking for an idol, like they showed the
Mhm. Where
yeah
they always do that. They have like a highlight. They like, and he missed it.
yeah
On this episode, it was Lindsay who missed the idol. She was already grasping at the branch, but she didn't figure out that the idol was there, right?
yeah
Yes.
yeah.
So
So
yeah, really, I think that it really set up the idea that it was meant for Marianne to find that idol, right?
yeah
Yeah. So yeah, just to link that actually, uh, whereas Lindsay didn't find the hidden immunity idol, actually, for me, Lindsay for this episode was a high in the fact that we're starting to see her stock rise, right?
yes
She's starting to get all of this exposure, and not only that, she won the reward, right? And she won immunity. She may not have gotten the immunity idol, but she won the reward. She won the immunity challenge. So yeah, that's actually my one of my highs for this week. Uh, is Lindsay rising? Is this the start of the Lindsay domination? Is that why we haven't been seeing her all of these past few episodes? And then last week we started seeing her, right? We mentioned that okay,
yeah.
Lindsay is starting to get seen, and then now she dominates both challenges.
Ay,
Right?
diba? Survivor is about peaking at the right time.
Yeah, yeah.
And is this the right time for is this the right time for Lindsay to like be peaking?
Hope I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We've dismissed her for so much of this entire season that it might just be they're down to the final seven, right? They're down to the final seven. Uh, wait, are they? No, they were down to the final seven. Now they're six. They're down to the final six now, right?
Seven. Lindsay, Jonathan, Omar, Mary, Andrea, Romeo, and Mike.
Oh yeah. Oh the ones. So we've got seven left. Do we have seven left? Don't we have six left now? Because it was a
Lindsay,
double group.
Lindsay, Jonathan, Omar, Marianne, Drea, Romeo, and Mike. It's just that Romeo was so purpled this episode that we forgot that he existed.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Poor Romeo.
Spoiler for our purple of the week.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, I'm really liking the fact that, well, yeah, it's sort of we're going around. If this were like a what is it, an 800-meter dash, the one that goes around the entire oval. We're
Yeah.
getting down to the final stretch where everyone's like starting to go or past the second curve of the oval.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's almost there. It's the end is almost in sight. And you're right. This might is this Lindsay peaking at the right moment? Who knows? Who knows? We'll find out in the next few episodes. Do you have any other highs? What give us another one of your highs?
Mr. Jeff, so nice. Letting Lindsay take two people.
Uh-huh.
Can I take another? So she gets to go on to so she gets to go to the Survivor Sanctuary with initially Omer, because he didn't get that, he didn't get reward and whatever, and her one of her closest allies since day one, and also brings Mike.
Yeah. Yeah. Were you
And
surprised by that she brought Mike?
yes. I'm actually quite surprised, but it's what led to all of the drama of the episode, and sort of the beginning of the Omar heel turn. I'm seeing this as an Omar
Ooh.
heel turn, right?
Ooh,
Because
yes, yes,
he's
yes.
the one being like evil and sneaky and like
And
lying to the
scheming,
poor old
being all
man, you know.
mastermindy, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not lying to the poor old man, you know, who's very who up until this point has been edited to be quite gullible, you
Oh
know.
yeah, very, very gullible. To Mike's credit, if you noticed in the scene right before and even after the challenge, the reward challenge, while everyone was shivering, Mike, despite being 10,000 years old, stood his ground. Did not seem to look as if he was affected by the elements. That was pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
That was pretty cool to
Yeah.
see. But yeah, I mean, but you're right. Yeah, Omar is playing Mike, and he effectively put a wedge between Mike and Hai with just that during that reward.
Yeah. So like, whoa, this is that was a high because it's really what led to all of the drama
Mhm.
in the episode. But something interesting that I found out was that creepy family reward.
Okay,
That
yeah.
that, that
Well,
that that loved ones reward. That was like the creepiest thing ever. I don't know.
I was sort of I was kind of waiting for like there to be a twist, like all of those who've been voted out would suddenly join them. Right? It's like the
Yeah,
ghosts of the past suddenly come back, right?
that would have been great. That would have been amazing. Because in older seasons, the jury actually did stuff in game. Yeah, like uh with that quiz or whatever
Mhm.
the jury for immunity. I can't remember which season, but
Again, our
um,
historian isn't here. Martin would know
yeah,
all of that. Yeah.
but there are times when the jury plays a role in game,
Mhm.
which is, you know, it'd be
Yeah,
nice to have
that
them
would have
like.
been cool. Like all of a sudden, these guys come in. Yeah.
Something that I found so funny about it though was that family visit, or that family reward or whatever. There wasn't very much video. It felt like an SDE. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
um what's it? It, it either felt like an SDE or like those dads that have like projectors
Uh huh.
and will just show pictures of like their like family vacation to like Vietnam or something. Like I got those vibes from Mike, like, hey, and then that's
That's my daughter. That's my daughter. That's. I forget what the name of his daughter is.
it gave me like dad on family vacation vibes. Sort of like one of those PRS teachers that we had before. She
Mhm.
had these really cool like slides, these tiny little slides, and that
Uh-huh.
old school like projector where they're just super sharp.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And then he would just
And
like
yeah,
show
show
them.
pictures. And some of them were like literally their vacation photos. Like, and this was when we were in Japan. So I was getting a lot of those vibes. It was like quite nice. But the interesting thing that I found out was um, they also did this in the previous season.
Did
In Yeah, but they didn't show it.
Oh, really?
There was that in the it was the Shan Boot episode, I believe, where they had the sanctuary.
Oh my gosh, that is how forgetful I am. I do not remember the sanctuary reward from 41. I thought that the sanctuary was like an innovative thing that probes and the producers came up with for this season. Oh my gosh.
Or I don't know if it was called the sanctuary, but it was like
It's the
it
same
was
set. It's the same setup.
I think so, yeah. But it was with yeah, it was Shan Ricard and somebody else. Can't remember who the other one was. My memory isn't that great either. But like I remember that there was this one scene where
Mhm,
it was Shannon Ricard being close
mhm.
and just sort of looking into the distance. And I was like, whoa, what a dramatic shot. I suspect that that was them watching the loved ones SDE.
Loved ones SDE.
Yeah, it
That might be
it
it.
feels
That
like
might
one of
be.
those same day edits. Come on,
Mm.
I'm going to be getting married at the end of the year. That's like top of
That's why
mind right now.
that's on your head.
Starting to think of like, oh shit, what pictures are my parents going to give anybody that's making the video?
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean that experience, I'm sure, galvanized whatever bond Omar and well, yeah, we did see that. They did set it up. Remember in the previous episode, while where Mike was kind of curious about how Omar was worshiping,
Yeah,
and that was like sort of the start of the bond between Omar and Mike. And I think that this reward actually did galvanize that. Do you think that was a strategic move by Lindsay to bring Mike really towards into their fold, into like the Taku fold,
could be, you know.
right?
Thinking about, yeah, it really, you know, it could be, but like, my God, such a Omar, such a ballsy play. That was such a
Yeah,
ballsy play by
yeah,
Omar.
yeah. He's actually one of my highs, because of especially because of that, right? Him
Yeah,
scheming. Yeah, you're calling it out as a heel turn. I call it a master move by him.
yeah,
It was masterful the way that he did that, the way that he's been able to, and he was the one. He's responsible now for taking out the two Vati tribe members. Right, he was the one who blew up that small detail that
yeah,
Lydia said, right,
yeah,
and made it so that she gets voted out, and now he puts a wedge in between High and Mike, and causes in the end for High to get blindsided, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's, you know, that's actually like one of my highs, but also
Yeah.
one of my lows. Like,
No, I'm my it's a high of mine because I think for the first time this was a real blindside for 42. Most of
yeah,
the time in the previous, because especially in last episode, while it was, I think, designed to be a blind side, it turned out not becoming a blind side because of everything that happened, everything that got discussed, right?
yeah,
But this was the first blind side that I had no idea at all that he was the one on the block.
yeah,
Yeah, so for me, finally, we got a real blind side. Hyde didn't get to play uh, his shot in the dark. Absolutely had no idea, and him and Romeo, who was just there, just there for the ride. And yeah, even Romeo was so far. He thought that they were really they were good. I was really off. He thought that they were really good too. Yeah.
yeah.
What makes it your high? What makes it your high?
Uh, it 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 was just everything that sort of led up to it, like um the at Tribal, they were like, who was it? It was Lindsay
Mhm.
that said, we're trying to even the playing field, right? So like that's, you know, that's something that puts High at ease,
Mhm.
you know. um it was either John and could be like great acting on Jonathan's part, or just him legit not being in the loop, but his like, I'm trying to process that, or like I'm trying to, you know.
Him not really like understanding what Lindsay meant by everything. Yeah.
But he
Uh-huh.
did understand the Jenga metaphor, so
At least he probably also plays Jenga. Yeah.
but it's I don't know, it's it it was just really cool the way they set it up, and the way the show laid it out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right, like they showed what High normally does to try and get whoever they're voting out at the time to feel comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
while at the same time it's exactly the same thing that's happening to him, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So getting to see that sort of dynamic kind
Yeah.
of play out, and seeing High get a case of big move-itis by saying like, I'm gonna play the idol for you.
Yeah, that was, and yeah, you also have to go back to, what do you call this? Lindsay, possibly, and Lindsay. Wait a minute. Now Lindsay has an idol.
It's a steal a vote, diba?
Wait, but Dre,
Dre is still
oh,
there.
Dre is still there. Yeah, Dre is still there. Yeah.
Dre is the one that's like super loaded.
Yeah. Oh, it's a steal vote now. It's a steal vote. But yeah, you still have to think about it, that it probably was, again, was it really an Omar move, or was it like a Lindsay move? Because we're starting to see her getting highlighted. And then she just took out one of the three amulet people. So now
Yeah.
it becomes a steal vote, right? What is she gonna do next to take out Drea, right? So it's we're starting to see that it might lead to that.
Yeah. Although just to play a little bit of devil's advocate
Mm.
there, no, she did have a line saying that, like, it's either High or Omar, but everybody, I know it's either High or Jonathan,
Jonathan, yeah.
and everybody seems to want to go for High. So who am I to go against that? That sort of. So it could also not be her move necessarily. The show is saying we should be giving Omar credit for it.
Yeah. Omar is being really presented as the guy who thought it up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the show is saying. But then that's sort of how they edited Erica as well. last season. So
yeah, you don't know that she's actually been making the moves. Right?
Yeah. So like,
yeah.
I don't know.
We will find out if ever Lindsay wins this season, if that really was the case. Or at the very least, if she makes final tribal, because by then the jury will like bring it out. I'm sure that they're gonna bring it out one way or another if she makes final tribal. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any other highs?
Just Omar just being sneaky, man. Like,
yeah,
Omar being sneaky is just so cool. He's playing like a really good game.
Yeah. So it's if we're talking consistency, if you're talking about consistency, especially with how they've been presented in the show ever since episode 1, Omar has been the one who's consistently been been present, and been consistently getting highlighted. So it makes you think either he's being given the winner's edit, or I do not actually know what the winner's edit is. But I do know that one of it is that they give the winner like a winner's line and during the first episode, and I think that his animal metaphor might be that line. So yeah, we see that, like, the consistency with Omar, and now we're starting to see, okay, he's really scheming, right? So that it's either they're giving him the winner's edit, or like what I think that you've pointed it out a couple of episodes now, that he might be the decoy winner, right?
Yeah. So there, because he's being propped up, we're what's it, the way that I think about it, right? The way to sort of the first step the first step in identifying a winner's edit is, how do you feel about this character? You know,
Okay.
like, how do you feel about this character's like chances at winning?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well,
And
yeah.
if do I, so like we can say that, we can say that uh say like Shan
Yeah.
got a sort of winner's edit in a
Mm-hmm.
way,
Yeah.
but
For
then she was
for
like
for a
in,
while, for a long while in 41, I thought that she was gonna take it all the way.
yeah, so like she's like the decoy winner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then, with Erica winning, all of that is just thrown out the window.
I think
So
Erica was so like out of the box when they the way that they hid her was really something that they were. I think that the producers were really trying to come up with something new in narrating and telling the story of the winner, the survivor, of the final survivor, right? So yeah,
yeah.
my last high isn't really like a high in the context of the game. It's just a high because I'm an Adidas guy. I prefer Adidas to Nike. And I
Okay.
love the fact that Jeff Probst is an Adidas guy as well. It was the second time. Yeah, I think it was only the second time, but I think I'm not sure if he's like an endorser of Adidas or something. But I see him wearing the three stripes, and I'm like, whoa. So Probst might be an Adidas guy. That's cool. I'm an Adidas guy, so that's a high
Huh.
for me.
I didn't notice that. I really did not notice that,
Yeah.
which is kind of interesting, because I'm the one that noticed that that Chanel was wearing socks.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I did not notice that. Hmm. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
because like that's how Survivor. Oh, that's how Survivor gets its money.
Mm, yeah.
From like from the beginning, right? They were all about those sponsorships.
Yeah. That's why they got the what
Applebee's.
what the
That's
Applebee's.
what
That's why they have the
Applebee's, right?
Applebee's reward, right?
The first big change to the hourglass twist. It
Yeah.
has a sponsor now.
Yeah. And it's big. It's what was that? It's big, it's emotional, it's home, right? It's
Oh man.
Applebee's. Right. Yeah. So wow. Any other highs you got? Or
Um, like one of your highs from earlier, man. Lindsay finally getting screen time.
all right.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
it's like, wow, great. And uh, scary though,
Why?
because she
Oh.
hasn't had her backstory shown yet.
But then again, we didn't get Tori's when
That's
she got
true. That's
voted out
true. That's
last time,
true.
right? So it might not be, or the Tory case might have been an outlier because of the fact that there was something else, something bigger that was being discussed. But yeah, so yeah,
Wow.
you're right. It's a little scary that she's being highlighted now. It might mean that she's getting the boot soon. Yeah, if
Hmm.
we start seeing her giving her, if she gives her backstory next episode, yeah, it's probably her time.
I'm gonna be like, I'm literally shooketh.
Shook. Marianne giving us words, giving us all of these nice what do you call that? What do you call that? What do you call
Like,
those?
like one-liners,
Yeah, sound bites. Yeah, she's
sound
giving us
bites.
sound
Yeah,
bites. Yeah, shook.
right. When she finds the idol, I'm literally shooketh. Like,
Yeah.
huh? I don't think English works that way, but that's fine.
I think it's her being I because she's studying to become a pastor, isn't she?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's probably that studying the Bible. That's
He's been
sort of
reading
like a
King
Bible word.
James.
Yeah, it's probably like a Bible word. Yeah, we probably see that in the Bible. Yeah. Any other highs you had?
Uh, no. So let's go to the shizzle sticks portion.
The shizzle sticks portion?
I don't know the lows.
No, not yet. We don't do that yet. Before we go to the lows,
we have Martin.
yeah, we have Martin with Martin's thoughts with Martin.
Martin's thoughts with Martin. Martin. Yeah.
For the highs, it has to be Omar, as he finessed his way into the ear and the mind of Mike. You put that little seed of doubt, putting that seed saying, hey, that dude High is working and he's playing you, man. And that's how High got out. That's how good he was. You know? So props to my man Omar for this episode. The next high is on Marianne, cause she got the immunity idol. Yeah. The other high would be, well, totally not high. Get it?
Martin's thoughts with Martin. Martin. Yeah.
Okay, so those are Martin's thoughts. Yeah,
With Martin.
with Martin. Yeah,
Okay. Also, we pretty much had the same highs.
yeah.
Although the way he described Omar being in Jonathan's ear, he should be a pastor.
Yeah. In Mike's ear, you mean Mike's ear?
In Mike's ear, he should be a pastor.
Yeah. We have the same highs. It's just that Martin delivers it so darn creatively. It's like a performance all itself. It's as if we are watching Martin perform the way that he's describing everything.
It's almost like we went to college theater together.
Yeah, almost like we were watching a show and Martin was performing. We miss you, Martin. We hope that you can join the council in the flesh soon, that people can see you. But yeah, that was pretty cool. We it's consistent. Our highs are pretty consistent, and that just goes to show you, even though we don't talk about our highs before we do the recording of the show, but we are on almost the same wavelength already, all three of us. And especially since Martin actually doesn't record with us, right?
Yeah.
He does his recording on his own. He just sends us his thoughts. It's pretty, yeah. Those are the Titos for you. Okay,
I bet
like
he
you
recorded that like late in the evening. It sounded so like trying not to wake the neighbors.
like really like, yeah, for the highs. Yeah. Okay, anyway, as you were saying, we go into the shizzle sticks, the lows. What have you got for the lows?
Pizza.
Pizza.
Because apparently Survivor pizza is like terrible.
They're asking, yeah, unless you get Papa John's again. I remember that they did get Papa John's as a sponsor before. Unless you get Papa John's again, if you're relying on locals to make your pizza for you, it's not gonna be the pizza that you want, right?
Apparently, like Survivor pizza is notoriously bad. So
I mean, we could see it from the way that they were eating it. That it was like, yeah, it's that's not quality.
I don't, something that I wondered, something that I wondered about that was it's pizza and beer. Do they serve water or like juice for Omer?
Oh yeah,
right. Like it was just something that that stood out to me. Like Omer, very good Muslim. He's not supposed to drink like a drop of alcohol.
Mhm.
So like, just something that I was curious about. Like, did he have to pull a high and turn on his convictions and have a little bit of alcohol?
We can only hope that they did. I mean, yeah, but like you said, they did force High to go ahead and eat meat. Right?
Speaking of High, that's my actual first low. It's over. The
It's
run.
over. The
run
high
is over.
road was at
The
its
high road.
end.
We're now in the we're now on the service road. We're no longer up on the skyway.
We're no longer up on the skyway. We're no longer in the highway. We're on the service road where traffic is pretty bad.
Oh
Yeah.
man. So like, when they gave him his flashback, I was like, it's over.
That was it. That was it. His flashback. That is the mark of death. Right. So yeah, Tori might be an outlier. Tori might really be an outlier. Every time that we see a flashback, that's gonna be it for you. You're gonna get snuffed.
But that's like one of those tropes or whatever from reality shows. I wish somebody would actually like aggregate all of those statistics. Like what percentage of people in reality shows that have boot offs that also have like these flashbacks?
Mhm.
Like how, what percentage do they like get knocked out?
How does it correlate? Like
Yeah,
if you get a flashback in the episode, are you getting the boot in that episode? Or how far from your flashback are you getting your getting booted? Right? Yeah, that would be an interesting study. That would be an interesting study for someone taking up media, maybe. Right?
Yeah. So,
predicting reality shows. Yeah.
So, if any of my students are listening to this, I know that a couple of them are thinking about taking media related courses, be it mass communications or other media studies type courses.
Yeah.
That could be a paper. That could be a paper.
That could be a paper. It could be a thesis. Right? Could it be a doctorate? We don't know.
Probably not, but
probably not. But it could probably be a thesis because it will require a decent amount of research because of all of the reality shows that have come and gone in all of these years. Yeah. So yeah, that's
not high though.
What?
He's not high though. He was like the Ricard of the season.
He was the Ricard of the season.
He played too well. One of those. One of those.
He was really strong. He was really strong right off the bat, right?
Yeah.
So it goes back to your statement whether or not reality TV is about peaking at the right time. Did he peak too early? Probably did, because we have been noting that he has been on the downside recently.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Romeo would have been the easier vote, but
they thought that it. I mean, I'm also thinking that the threat level of having a high data scientist
high.
But it would have been so fun, using his name in all of the things that we keep on saying, because we say it, your highs and lows, and we've had that hashtag on the high road.
On the high road.
Right? High on high.
Yeah.
Now high is high no more. High no more. Ladies, high no more. All right. Good.
Or if we're going with Chinese, it's like hi, yeah.
Oh, Uncle Roger there, doing a little bit of Uncle Roger there. But yeah. So one of my lows is I'm starting to, because of how we've been talking about Lindsay and Omar, I'm actually starting to rethink if this is actually a low, but I think because of what Jonathan did, I think that there is now a very, very big crack in the armor that is the Taku Strong armor, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard. It looks bleak for Jonathan for the next episode or two maybe. So it's I don't know. I don't think that Taku Strong is still there. I think that Omar, especially Omar, is starting to think that he might be able to do without the meat shield that is Jonathan moving forward. And yeah, the fact that we are seeing Lindsay getting highlighted more and more means that she too is starting to get some things, having some things in the works.
And um Lindsay's highlighting is showing her throwing Jonathan under the bus,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, of the Taku Four, she's making it a point to keep Jonathan at arm's length.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Whereas before, you would have really thought that Lindsay and Jonathan were the ones who were like tight, right?
Yeah. That was like one of the day one, but that was one of the
Yeah.
early alliances, right?
Yeah.
The early alliance was like Jonathan, Omer, and Lindsay, right? Like that
Yeah.
was,
That was really it.
yeah.
And then you've got this spitfire of a of a Marianne
Yeah.
who hung around. Uh, yeah, yeah. So we're really seeing that. Taku strong, probably no longer, probably not
Yeah.
anymore. Yeah,
But they're so
especially
close though. They're
yeah,
so close though.
exactly.
Like they're so close to like the the pagonging of everybody else.
Yeah, that would be just as how Omar was like did such a masterful work with how he was able to manipulate Mike or yeah yeah poor Mike, them actually doing it to the entire Survivor cast except for the Taku Strong Taku 4. That would have been whoever is behind that would be behind that would be like, okay, no questions asked, this person is gonna be the winner, right?
Yeah. So like it's interesting though, because like the breaking of the Taku Four is taking longer than like I thought it would,
Yeah,
which is a
yeah,
pleasant surprise. Yeah.
yeah. It's at least it's not as predictable as a lot of people probably thought, right? So it's
Yeah.
pretty cool. It's pretty cool to still see them. Although we're starting right, like I said, we're surely we're starting to see them like uh, break down. That alliance is starting to break down. The tribe alliance is starting to break down. It's taking a lot longer. It's taking a lot longer, and it's making for good TV.
Yeah. And that Omer heel turn. Oh, I still can't get over it. Sorry. I still can't get over how cool it is. Here I was thinking that it was a Jonathan heel turn, but no, he gave us a
No.
monkey run.
Gives us a monkey run, tries to show uh tries to show his social skills. Meanwhile, Omar is using his social skills to augment his strategic game, right?
Yeah. No, that's the thing though, Jonathan, man, such poor strat, like his strategy isn't great.
Yeah.
And Lindsay pointed it out. So like, okay. Okay.
What other
I
lows do you have?
thought uh I mentioned it earlier, but this is a retroactive low.
Mhm.
Retroactive low for 41, where we didn't get to see the SDE of,
The SDE.
yeah. But it would have been really nice to see like the family,
Mm,
you know?
mm.
It was always,
Yeah. Yeah, it's
but
always like an emotional point in the season.
and
Whether it's the videos or whether they actually get letters from home or during pre-pandemic times where when their relatives actually show up, right? That's always an emotional point in the season.
yeah. Um they and also they made a what's it? Deshaun.
Mm.
Deshaun not getting Deshaun was like, oh, I wanted like letters from home or something. And they were like, no.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to find out who else was there with like Shannon Ricard. Sorry, it's bothering me now. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
While you're going through that,
What were your lows
yeah,
while I'm going
my
through that?
my other, I actually only had two lows. My other low was that reward challenge. Only only because I think that the producers relented. This was the first. It was a gimme. It was a very, actually, because of the conditions. The conditions were pretty bad. Because of the torrential rain. Uh, the producers gave the castaways a gimme. Right? It was just, bring your sandbag. Bring your pole from one end to the other, and then toss a sandbag. Right? That was it. Right? That was it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was it was
Swim.
it was a very, it had conditions not
Swim.
been bad. Yeah, swim. Yeah. Had conditions not been bad, that would have been a breeze for all of them. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's a low for me because based on how everything has been going these past episodes, the challenges have been really challenging, right? And then here we have like a
Yeah.
gimme. Yeah, they couldn't make it progress. Like you always want to give like the hardest challenges towards the end, but here
Yeah.
it's a good thing because they sort of wanted to give the castaways a break, probably.
Or
Uh,
I suppose it must have been tremendously difficult given the weather. Like
yeah, I'm
I'm sure
sure.
you've been
I'm sure.
out. I'm sure you've been out during a storm.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
we live in the Philippines.
Yeah, we live in the Philippines. We live in a climate not that different from where they are in Fiji.
Yeah.
But yeah, but still, they didn't really quite think about that in previous challenges. But for this one,
Yeah.
that was I think they probably recalibrated everything
Yeah.
based on how poor, how bad the conditions were. And yeah, this should have been. I mean, Jonathan was leading for, wasn't he? He was like there for most
Yeah.
of the way,
Yeah.
and it should have been a Jonathan challenge, but he missed out on it. He lost to an ally who didn't even bring him to eat crappy pizza.
Oh. I was I was actually thinking that she would have brought either Marianne or Jonathan, really. So
Yeah.
like when it was Mike. Oh, oh.
I'm
So
also
like you
thinking
said,
that
bringing
was
him
that.
into the fold.
Yeah, that probably, yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was probably them bringing Mike into the fold. Okay, you are now among us, and had Lindsay chosen either Jonathan or Marianne, the Taku left behind would have felt on the outs, right?
Hmm.
That
Yeah.
would have been bad also for Taku itself.
Right. So now I understand. Now I understand why I don't remember who was
because
in the sanctuary.
because it was only the two of them.
No.
Oh,
Uh because it was Ricard, Shan, and the two goats, Heather and Xander.
okay,
So
okay,
like, okay, now I realize why I don't remember.
okay. And still, me, I do not. Oh my gosh, my memory is that poor. I do not remember that at all.
Hmm. Anyway,
Yeah. Anyway. So yeah. Uh, any other lows on your side?
not high, no.
I getting voted out. Yes, we've talked about it, and we have been on the high road. You've been on, you and Martin have been high on high ever since the start, right?
Day zero, man. Ever
Year
since day
zero,
zero.
yeah, day zero, right? And he had, if you wanted like a person who could really like think logically, think things through, think Survivor through, he would have been the best one, the data scientist, right?
And this is an this is preempting our moving forward
Mhm.
segment, since it's probably going to be the do or die
Uh-huh.
twist next week. My bet is that they're going to be cutting to high to deliver the "it's the Monty Hall problem" line. Because they gave that to Xander last time. So
Mm.
like my bet is that they're going to cut to high, and he's going to be the one that whispers it to like Roxroy or like Chanel or something, like the Monty Hall problem.
Oh, yeah, because he would be the probably the most knowledgeable about all of those things. Being with his profession. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So but really, I suppose that is my biggest like low for the episode. You
The
know,
lowest of the low.
yeah, the lowest. That's my low for the season. Um, but yeah, like you know, Survivor is a weird game
Mhm.
because if you play too well, you lose.
Yeah. It's something that I've also learned about playing board games, especially with a circle of friends that we have in common.
Mm,
Usually when I play board games, like I have like a ton of board games here behind me. One of the board games that I have is the board game version of Civilization, Sid Meier's
mm,
Civilization.
yeah.
And when I used to play it with our friends, um, whoever comes out leading at the start, the other the rest of the board usually band together to take down that one person, and then the one who's like the Erica, who's like just plodding
Yeah.
along, suddenly turns out okay with just one move, wins the entire thing, right?
Yeah.
So,
So it's I don't know. It's Survivor is one of those games where
mm,
um there's no way to get more ahead.
mm,
There's some of those games like um I don't know if you know this about me. I watched a lot of professional StarCraft back in the day,
mm,
and
mm.
something that a lot of the commentators would always say is StarCraft is a game about when you get ahead, get more ahead,
Yeah,
and
the
like
start
that's
is always like a very important part, right? When
yeah.
if you have
So
all of your, what do you call that, the your construction, uh
yeah,
yeah, the way that you construct, it's important.
yeah, like it's I don't know, like if you win a battle,
Mm-hmm.
if you win a battle, what you have to do is make sure that you can take that win and um use that win to further your lead.
Mm, yeah.
So you end up with more units. So you go back and continue to build your base while your opponent is rebuilding their army.
Mm, mm.
So they rebuild their army, you have more
You're
buildings to
farther
build
in the tech.
more
You're far.
army, so you're further deeper in the tech tree.
Yeah.
So like when you get ahead, you get more ahead, and that's just not how Survivor works. And
Yeah.
that's why I'm scared for Omar.
Well, hopefully he's built enough shields around him that can take all of the damage that might come his way. He still has Jonathan. He still has Jonathan as a huge meat shield, and I think that also might be one of the reasons why he brought in Mike to be yet another meat shield for him. Right?
Pwede.
Right?
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Anyway, before
Yeah.
moving forward, shout out to the guys that we play StarCraft and all of these board games with. You know who you are, like it's Amane, it's like
Yeah.
X, Greg, all of these guys. We hope that you're watching. Support your friends. Anyway, other lows for you.
No, man, that's really about it. Not too many lows for this episode. In
Yeah.
fact, the only low for this episode was a high. Oh, it's easy.
Ah, there you go. Now let us go and listen to what our friend thinks with Martin's thoughts with Martin.
Martin's thoughts with Martin. Martin. Yeah.
As for the lows, well, it's opposite of the low. We get it to high because damn, I really feel like that immunity challenge was really for all his to win, but he lost it. And in a very bad fashion. Had he got immunity, I'm pretty sure Jonathan would have been out already. No questions asked. But he was seen as the strategic threat. No, it reminds me of last season. They had to take out Shan because she was the perceived strategic threat compared to the other green person. But eventually, they did take him out too. But this time, Hai seems to be on the Shan boot order. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. But yeah, total low. And it sucks because Hai was one of the guys who I picked to win. He was already there because he had the meat shield of Jonathan, but damn it. People convincing to vote out Hai as a strategic threat. It's just too big, man. He has that big target on his back for the past couple of episodes, and it sucks. So you gotta go low, and we give it a high.
Martin's thoughts with Martin. Martin. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
What I'm going to say about Martin, he pretty much got it exactly right because like I have the wiki for Survivor 41 open. What's it? After Shan was voted out, it was
Ricard?
Liana, Danny, Ricard, Heather, Xander, Deshaun, and Erica.
Mhm.
So like she was eliminated in exactly the
yeah,
same position that Hai was eliminated in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if you actually did the math on that, Martin. Just say that you did.
Yeah, let's say that you did. That is why Martin is our historian. He knows all of these things. He knows all of Survivor history. It goes back to my thoughts. Martin saying all of this goes back to my thinking that is Survivor really a reality show or is it scripted? Do they have like pegs? Okay, for this episode, it's the strategic person that gets voted out. And for this one, we're gonna give Drea a lot of advantages. We're gonna give her clues, and because Marianne didn't had to give up her idol in the previous episode, we're gonna give her an idol for this one, right? I'm just trying to peel back the veil, trying to challenge the veracity of Survivor being an actual
Take a look behind the curtain.
Yeah, look behind the curtain, right? It is our theater background. There you go. We got the look behind the curtain of Zhao's spot. So yeah, I don't want to think that way. But yeah, the coincidences are very stark, right? The coincidences are very stark. Yeah. Okay, now we
have the same downs as Martin. Yay!
Yes, again, we have the same downs as Martin. Well, you guys have the same down because you pegged high to like go all the way.
I should have learned from last season.
Yeah. Shan was my favorite for 41. So yeah.
Does this mean that in 3 episodes we're going to be losing Omer?
Ooh.
Because
Why?
it was like Shan,
Ricard,
Liana,
Uh-huh.
Danny, and then Ricard.
Yeah, because
So
Omar is
first,
playing the Ricard role for this season. If that happens, hands down, I'm gonna say, okay, Survivor, you're scripted. Survivor, you have an outline already. You have a formula. You're like the MCU. It's already formula. By the third act, we have to have a CGI battle, right? For the third act, we take out the two major strategic players, like 3 votes away from each other, right? So yeah.
Right at the beginning, they said this season is pretty much going to be 41.
Oh, did they?
I mean, more or less, right? Like they're like, we filmed these back to back,
Oh yeah,
and like 42 hasn't seen 41, so
Yeah.
it's so
So there's no way
so
for them to know what happened.
so I kind of guess like the way
So
that they set up the game is their outline.
so you're starting to you're also beginning to think that there is an outline.
The game design is the outline, yeah.
No, but like okay, you take out the strategic person at this point in time at final 8, and then you take the second biggest strategic person in final whenever, and then Jonathan plays the Xander role for this season, and he gets to the final tribal, but he's like the one who's most out of touch, but he's actually supposed to be a physical threat, right? You
Yeah.
It's sort of falling into place. And you've got Lindsay, who's although she didn't go to the hourglass, she was one of the two who were being considered for the hourglass. And then all of a sudden, we're starting to see her rising, her stock rising. Is it scripted? I hope not. I
I wish I
honestly
had.
hope not.
I wish I had my soundboard here. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. So yeah, we never know. We never know. I hopefully it isn't. Hopefully it isn't, because it seeing the unpredictability, so more or less of survivors. But for me, especially for me, since I don't like look out for like the winners edit and all of that. I still take the experience as the episodes come. But yeah, I hope that it isn't. Moving forward to our
moving
thoughts
forward.
and predictions.
Well, actually, here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
We're guessing that this is the do or die, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the
Well,
next
I
time
don't
on
know.
Survivor.
Again, I don't
Oh,
remember what happened in the in the
I mean,
order. But
you didn't. I'm you watched the next time on Survivor, right?
oh yeah.
Next time on Survivor, like this challenge is going to have a whatever,
Oh yeah,
and it's
yeah,
going
yeah,
to
yeah.
be a dangerous one.
Yeah.
So that's like we can pretty much say that it's going to be the do or
The
die.
do or die.
So like assuming that it's the same thing, who do you think is going to like
Ooh.
sit out? Because the way it worked last season, correct me if I'm wrong, if you remember, and like Martin, like call me out on this, or and any of y'all in the comments, like if I get this wrong, like be like, no, but if I remember correctly, it was you can be safe from the do or die by not participating in the challenge.
Yeah, I think that's how it happened.
Right?
Yeah.
And then for the immunity challenge, the first one to drop out has to do the Monty Hall thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they pick the safe box, they are immune for the night.
Mm-hmm. And everyone
And
has to
they
vote someone out.
proceed to vote. Yeah.
Yeah.
So who do you think is going to sit out? And who do you think is going to continue with the challenge?
Ooh. Or are you asking me who I think is going to have to do the do or die?
Well, first, who's going to sit out? Like, I'm pretty sure Omer is going to sit out. He's going to be like, no, I can't do that. And he's probably going to be safe next week.
Who wouldn't want to do it?
Like, who do you think doesn't need immunity next week?
Yeah, Romeo is not going to sit out.
Yeah, definitely.
Romeo isn't gonna sit out. Drea does not trust anyone anymore, I think.
And she's gonna have like her personality is always
She's a
her
competitor.
personality is like go big or go home. So she's going to
She
gonna
isn't gonna sit out. Neither will Jonathan. Will Lindsay? Probably not, because she's been on a roll. I don't think that she's gonna want to stop that roll.
She
Yeah.
has Jonathan. She has majority. Yeah.
More or less, yeah. if the Taku tribe still does vote together, and then they've got Mike with them, that's 5. Right? So I don't know. Lindsay probably will sit out.
Mhm.
But then again, I mean, if you're starting to build a resume, you sort of want to build a resume on like going on a roll. That's one of the
Yeah,
things that
that's
you can
true.
use, right? She has 2 under her belt already. Is it just 2? Yeah, it's just 2. Right? No,
Just two.
yeah, it's just 2.
Yeah, just 2 individual.
Yeah,
One immunity and
1
one
reward
reward on the same episode.
on the same episode. On the same
This
episode.
one.
And this is for me like the start of her rise. Yeah, so yeah, it probably will be Omar who's gonna sit up. Uh, yeah,
It was just an interesting thought. People that are listening, comment
yeah.
section,
Give us your thoughts. Give us your thoughts.
thoughts in the what do people call it, in the towel section, in the doobly doo. I don't know what people call the comment section.
I don't know. I just know it as the comment section. But yeah, I like the name Doobly Doo. So yeah, that's that we now call
Or
that
is
the
that
Doobly.
or is that the description? I think people use the word doobly doo to talk about the description.
Oh,
I don't know.
in the comments. In the comments. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give us your thoughts in the comments if you haven't seen the episode yet, because yeah. Especially since we're publishing this right before the next episode comes out.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
mm,
I guess also consider this as your
yeah,
uh,
pre-episode 11 recap, like getting your thoughts in order right before watching the episode.
actually
Yeah.
that's how this kind of functions for me as well.
See, it's a good exercise for us, for your titos. Yeah. Um.
So who do you think is going to be the one to play the do or die?
To have to play the do or die. Oh my gosh. I will want to I will wish it on the person.
Right, yeah, I guess not who do you think, but who would
Yeah.
you wish?
Who do I wish will have to play it? Um. Oh gosh. Right now, for me, Romeo's the lowest because of mostly because of how he's behaved in the past couple of episodes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I quote unquote wish it on him. But then again, he's got a huge thing to because it's 50-50, right?
Yeah,
Oh no, is it? No, it's one of 3, right?
yeah,
It's a
well,
33%. It's a 1/3 chance.
two-thirds.
Is it
If
2/3
you
chance?
if you switch.
Hmm. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah. But there is still that, like, that the chance that he does get eliminated. So yeah, I think that he's become too whiny for me.
Mm,
Romeo has become too whiny for me, so I quote unquote wish it on him. Yeah, I don't really have any thought on who might actually do it. What about you? Who do you think is gonna have to play it?
it's just, that's why mid thought was like, no, not who do we think, but who do
Hmm.
we wish? Like, what would I like to see on screen? It's for me. I would like to. I would like it to be either Romeo or Drea.
Mm.
And if it were Romeo, I would like to see him be safe
Ooh, why so?
because that would take away the easy vote.
Ah,
So
nice.
there's, that's going to be a live driver,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and those are always fun. Like they're going to be scrambling like right there. So who are we going to vote out? Is it Jonathan? That. If it's Drea, I would like to see her not be safe. I'd like to see her get booted just to
Wow.
flush everything out.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. and then she reveals that she has all of these, like takes it out of her pocket, and like, "Oh,
Yeah.
well, I guess this is gonna go.
But she
This
throws
is
it in
gonna
the
go.
fire.
Yeah, this is gonna go too. This one too." And then she throws Lindsay under the bus. So I guess you have an idol now.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Right? Yeah.
And then it becomes Marianne versus Lindsay.
Mm. Mm. Wow. And Omar just like, having fun in the chaos. Right? Having fun in the chaos, getting through. And
We all thought
then
the fracture would be like with Jonathan, but turns out it's going to be like the battle line is going to be in between like Marianne and Lindsay because they're the ones with idols left. Oh, and
yeah,
Mike. Mike has an idol.
Mike has an idol. Mike has an idol. Yeah. But the thing is, both Lindsay and Marianne, no one knows that the other has an idol for now,
Yeah.
right? Well, unless like Drea throws Lindsay under the bus if she gets disqualified or booted out.
What
Yeah.
what I'm finding is that this moving forward isn't really our prediction so much as it is like,
Our wishes.
yeah, what we think would make for good TV, which really is all predictions are,
Yeah,
right?
it's all like predictions. Like what would we want to see, basically.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
watch New Rockstars and all of the stuff they talk about with like Marvel TV shows.
Yeah.
99% of that stuff isn't gonna happen. Mephisto, like,
Yeah.
come on.
Well, I was one of the proponents of the Mephisto thing, but then again, my thinking of the Mephisto thing was rooted in a lot of what happened in the comics. So
Yeah.
and I think that they also had that. Yeah, yeah. As for me, what I would like to see, I would like to see the advantage amulet really play a big role in making for good drama, right? Because I really do think that the advantage amulet was designed for subterfuge, uh, and it would for me be the next step in Lindsay's ascendance towards becoming a worthy winner, one of the worthy aspirants for Soul Survivor, if she actually starts plotting against Drea.
Yeah.
Right?
That would be huge for her resume.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh yeah, because she can try and make it out like she was instrumental. That's why she brought Mike in so that they could put the wedge between him and High. And then for this next episode, she's gonna force Drea to get booted out. It would be very huge, very huge.
And now that you mention it, um, whoever takes out Drea, if they take out Drea soon, right before all of the advantages are flushed by the final
Five,
5, 6,
6, yeah.
4, I don't.
So it has
6,
to
yeah.
happen in the next 2 episodes.
Yeah, if it happens in the next 2 episodes, whoever takes out Drea is going to have such a great resume.
Exactly.
Like whoever whoever the jury gives credit to,
Yeah.
if that's what happens with Drea, or if
Yeah.
if they if somebody boots out, or whoever is responsible for getting rid of Drea, if it happens in the next 2 episodes.
But that's also contingent on whether or not they know about her advantages, right? What are the public advantages of Drea? She own
She had an
she had an idol that she already used.
that she used, yeah. She
Uh,
has the amulet.
the amulet, which is right now a steal a vote.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. That's the one with the red paint. Is that everything
Is that
left?
it?
Is that all that's left? Didn't she have more? Or is it just us like imagine because of everything that she's gotten?
Wait, so like right now the only people with idols are Marianne and Mike?
Yeah, because Drea's already used hers.
That's crazy.
Drea's already used hers.
I wonder
Yeah,
what
because-
happens I wonder what happens if Drea uses knowledge as power on Lindsay.
Ooh. No,
Does that turn it into an idol?
but isn't the question limited? No, I think that we talked about this, right?
In the comments, come on, man.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to...
Like I think the question is limited. Oh yeah, it's either do you have an idol or do you have an advantage?
Yeah.
Is I guess the advantage amulet is considered an advantage, so that would mean that Lindsay would have to give it up. And does that mean that that advantage amulet, and then she throws it in the fire, and then her advantage amulet becomes an idol?
Is it tied to like the person or is it tied to the thing?
Like how many are in play?
Yeah. Because
Okay.
like in previous like survivor jurisprudence or survivor history tells us that it doesn't attach to the person, but it attaches to the object, right?
Existence of the object. Yeah.
So like the object can be given to somebody else.
Yeah.
The
power stays with the object.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if Drea were to use knowledge as power on
Lindsay,
could she take it, throw it into the fire, and turn
her own into an idol, and then use it for herself?
Idol?
Oh, that would be a cool move. If she feels that she's like under threat, she uses it on. Well, she can technically use it. No, she would use it on Lindsay, so that also takes away that also takes away Lindsay's advantage amulet. It takes that away. Her advantage amulet becomes an idol. Uses it on herself, and throws a vote on Lindsay. Yeah. And then Lindsay gets booted out. That would be a badass move.
Where would it function as a steal a vote that Drea has full control over?
I don't know if she doesn't throw the other amulet into the fire. I don't know. Right? If she has both, this is now a steal a vote. Right?
Is this because we play too many like games that we start thinking about how to stretch like?
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, because we're like, yeah, we're technically gamers. Yeah. And it's always fun to analyze how these things get used, or how you can use these things, right? That's the whole, that's the logical exercise, the logical and creative exercise of figuring out how these things can be used. It's always fun to do. Yeah. So yeah.
I guess that's my moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Do or die. What I think would make for really good TV. Romeo
getting
being safe, or Drea going out with in a blaze of glory.
Throws all of her advantages. Right.
Yeah.
I'm out. Peace out. But before she gets, the thing is, can she go ahead and use knowledge's power before she has to do the right? Can she use knowledge is power before she has to choose? No, before she has to choose the do or die, right? Let's say she uses knowledge's power on Lindsay right before she has to do or die. Lindsay, do you have an advantage? Takes out her advantage amulet, so that, and then she gets booted out. So the advantage amulet, the extra idol, gets thrown out
as well. Yeah, well, interesting. That'd be cool.
Right? Because it does it. I don't think that it's as long as it does it say when she can use knowledge's power. When did Liana use it last time? I think she used it right before the vote, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Wait.
Or did she use it right before Jeff start? No, because I think she used it when Jeff said, if anybody has a hidden immunity idol or an advantage, now would be the time to use it. And then
Yeah.
she said it, right? But is it restricted to that time, or can Drea actually say use it before that time?
I would imagine that the rules state that like it has to be after Jeff says if anybody would
After
have it.
casting the vote.
Yeah.
And
That
say, for
would be
example, if she is safe, and just so that let's say Mike, or if she finds out that Marianne has an idol, and she goes ahead and like knows that Marianne is on the chopping block and they want to take out the Taku 4. They want to
Yeah.
take out one of the Taku 4. She takes out Marianne's idol and plays it for someone else. Oh, that would be so cool.
And
She,
plays
like,
it for Romeo.
yeah, right. That would be so cool. She plays do or die. She comes out safe, so she's immune already for the vote from the vote. Then they talk about it. The easy vote is Romeo. Say they're gonna go for Romeo, but they found out that Marianne has a hidden immunity idol that no one knows about, and they want to break the Taku 4. So you've got Mike, Romeo, and Drea. They're the ones that are left. Right? Even the playing field, make it 3 non-Taku versus 3 Taku. Who has an immunity idol among the Taku? They find out that Marianne has one. She uses knowledge as power. Give me your idol. I'm playing it for Romeo. That would be so cool.
And then Mike is like, I guess I'm gonna play this as well.
Yeah, that would be so cool. That would be so cool. Now that would
And
be good.
that would be great.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess let's go ahead and listen to the thoughts and predictions of our other friend Martin with Martin's thoughts.
Martin's thoughts with Martin. Martin. Yeah.
Okay. My prediction is based on what's gonna happen next episode, which my prediction is gonna be like what happened to Deshaun last season. What was it, Deshaun? I forgot. But basically, the guy who lost, who dropped out of the challenge on a specific portion. I think the first one out will have a 50-50 chance of picking up a rock that will keep him safe on the tribal council, or if he picks the other rock, he's the automatically booted person in that next tribal council, and nobody even has to vote against him or her. And unfortunately, my gut feel is telling me one of the top draws are gonna be the one who's gonna be taken out of that challenge early. My guess is totally on Jonathan if it's another balance act kind of challenge. So my prediction, next boot, Jonathan loses 50-50. He draws the purple rock or the black rock or the gray rock, whichever rock that's going to eliminate him. And that's because he's going to lose the immunity challenge, and he's the first one to be eliminated of that immunity challenge. Just like last season. This time, he ain't as lucky as Deshaun. But man, if that's what's going to happen, damn. I feel like a lot of Survivor fans are going to make us think about it. Even Russell Hands. Because the system is flawed. And that's my predictions of the next boot and what's going to happen in the next episode. Bring it back to you guys. But please don't forget to subscribe to channel14.com.
Martin's thoughts with Martin. Martin. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Wow. He's got Jonathan on the block.
Could be. I can see it happening. I can see it happening. They're setting him up as not smart from day
Mhm.
one. He only saw like 7 triangles or whatever.
Yeah.
And Monty Hall is like one of those quote unquote like smart problems. Like all of those math YouTubers talk about how if you like switch, you end up with a 66% chance or whatever.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
you know,
But it's weird though that he thinks that Jonathan isn't good at the balance thing. Uh
he's been second in a lot of the challenges,
he
no?
won the surf balance thing, right? That the one where they split the tribe into two groups. The one with
Yeah.
the one in the last episode. So he won that. And he was pretty close with the ball.
Yeah, his
That's
his his
also a
big
balance
feet.
thing.
His big feet.
It was just his big feet that was the problem.
So
It's
yes.
pretty interesting that Martin doesn't feel that Jonathan is good at balance because, like what we pointed out last episode, Jonathan being uh, a man of the beach probably helps him with a lot of balance because he's sure to like have practiced a lot of surfing.
Yeah. Thinking about it, I can also see Romeo getting screwed by this because like he's being pushed further and further into the background.
Mhm.
So, in the same way that oh, gosh, what's her name? In the same way that Lydia was
Yeah,
pushed to the background
yeah.
so that like we wouldn't be so pissed. at-
Well, I'm personally not enjoying Romeo's appearances on the show already. He's really gotten really whiny, too whiny for me.
yeah, so
And
that
it's
could be
weird how his character suddenly changed because he was that like, oh,
Bitaw,
I'm a pageant coach. I want to help uplift Drea to become
Drea.
the best survivor that she can be, and all of a sudden he's like this very he seems to be this very bitter, uh, untrusting uh, castaway. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so yeah, that's that. That's Martin's thought. The first time that we didn't like jive completely, uh, but he did also note that it's probably gonna be the Monty Hall problem for this next episode.
All right.
Okay, let's go to our survivors of the week. Who do you have as the castaway of the week?
It's a toss up between Omer and Lindsay.
Hmm.
I'm guessing those are yours as well, so we can take one each.
Yeah. Yeah, but I have Lindsay a slightly higher, if only because this is the first time that she got the two challenges. She won the two challenges.
I
Uh,
can
yeah. And then you've been like really highlighting Omar also for this entire
yeah,
episode.
I can see that, but like now that I'm thinking about it though, um Omer could be on his way out because people, I mean, like not in the next episode,
Mm,
but
mm.
people might start to begin to notice that he's, playing a really good game now that High is gone.
Mm. Now that the chief strategist is gone,
Yeah,
the low
like
key strategist.
yeah. So
Mm.
I suppose I'm going to have to agree with you with Lindsay
Lindsay.
being the winner of the week. Yeah.
Yeah, because her star is rising. Her star is rising.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Who's your goat of the week?
my goat of the week. I'm going with the easy vote. It's gonna be Romeo for me.
Romeo.
Not High. I don't think that I can make High the goat of the week. I was too on the high road for the entire
Yeah.
season. When I started getting on the high road, I didn't leave it. More Romeo because again because of the weird change in character, and then he put his trust on the one who got voted out, and I think that he's going to continue to spiral out of control. I honestly think he's going to continue to spiral out of control with how he's been painted, how he's been edited. He's going to continue to spiral out of control. What about you? Who's your go to the week?
Well, really Romeo. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, right.
he was the other stray vote.
Yeah,
Right? He was the other stray vote. So that's, I guess, how we can tell that he's really, truly on the outs. But my distant second is Jonathan.
Oh, why so?
But again, it's a distant second, you know, because he was the decoy boot.
Mm. Mm.
And
Got
so if we had to pick, and he hasn't been doing very much by way of like good strategy as of late.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
His his physical prowess can only take him so far. And if the monkey run is his only attempt at a social game, it's gonna be hard for him
it's just
not to be a goat.
if it's the monkey run is his only attempt at a social game, it's just gonna be bananas.
Ooh, nice one. Nice one. All right. Purple of the week. I think that we have the same purple of the week. Yeah.
Romeo.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's
He had
kind
so
of
much
sad.
promise.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. I really loved it. That line that line. Like I'm gonna keep on going back to that. Where as pageant coach, he wanted to help uplift others, and then he had that moment that was it this episode when he came out to the rest of the tribe, or was it last episode? That was this episode, right? Was it
I don't remember.
where they were
the
sitting
one that I
around
remember.
campfire, and then he was like, "Guys, I have something to tell you." Was it this episode? But anyway, he's had a lot of these moments, these character moments,
Yeah.
and it's sad that it was probably last episode because he's been purpled this entire episode. He's had all of these character moments, and it's sad to see that he's being edited as someone who's like going out of control, not trusting anyone, uh, getting the vote wrong. Yeah, you just don't see him anymore. He's too thin. He's like so frail already. We hardly ever see him, even when he's like right smack center of the frame. Because he's so frail.
It's so sad because his if he really is truly spinning out of control, and this isn't just the editors, it's really sad because his story about overcoming insecurity would have been so powerful.
Yeah.
Right, going back to that conversation that he had with Hai, right at the merch. Right, like you could tell that was a source of insecurity for him, and having him overcome that would have been a great story.
Yeah,
and it would have been like something that all of the queer kids could like look to and feel like unfortunately either Romeo is screwing up, or the edit isn't being very kind because he's going to be Monty hauled out.
So you have him also as like your next boot. So it's either gonna be but you wanted him to go Monty Hall and then be safe.
Yeah, be safe. I mean, that's the dream. That's the dream. That way it becomes a hard vote.
Yeah. But yeah, so your next boot would either be Drea via Do or Die, or
Romeo. Oh no, or
because the other way would be Romeo doing the Do or Die and being safe.
Yeah. Jonathan.
Ooh. Yeah. He's gotten as far as he can. Yeah. I think it's too bad. It's too bad because it would be nice for them to subvert expectations by bringing like a big dude all the way to the final, like a real big dude, not like a Xander big dude, because technically Xander was like the biggest dude in last. No, not really. No,
that was Danny.
That was Danny. Yeah. But yeah. Oh gosh.
So who do you have as your boots? For...
My boot. I'm going with the safe. I'm going with the safe boot. It's gonna be Romeo. I think that
Romeo.
and I think it's mostly to sort of also to save his character. I don't want to see him like completely spiral out of control. I want to say, I feel for the guy in the sense that he's this frail little thing, like everything's been piled up against him.
Fiji hasn't been kind to him.
Yeah, yeah. And let's take him out of his misery, and get him fed in Ponderosa, right? So yeah, so for me, it's Romeo. Whether or not it's via the do or die, or he's one of the people left. If someone else does it and gets safe and becomes safe. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Any final thoughts?
I actually don't. What about you?
I'm literally shooketh. Great
You're-
episode.
Wow. So anyway, yeah, that is it for this episode of the Council of Titos. Things are definitely getting interesting now. One of the early favorites, especially of Zhao and Martin, to make it all the way, just got bumped off. Is this going to start a trend? We'll just have to wait and find out. As always, if you liked our video, hit the like button so we don't get voted off the channel. Also, consider hitting the subscribe button and the bell icon so you'll get notified whenever we come up with new content on the Laro-Laro Lang channel. This channel has other shows on it focused on sports, and other similar things. Anyway, this has been Chief Bisdak, Joel Parcon.
And I'm Zhao, coming at you from the service road.
We hope that you can join us on the council again next time. Until then, stay safe, everyone. The Titos have spoken.